Hi everyone, and welcome back to Happy Place Creations, and thank you for joining me today. Today we're going to do this little box heart mold. This is the bottom and this is our top. And I thought we would add some little ice creams to the top. And I thought we'd do these out of UV resin, using these little colors, these little flakes. I've chosen 4 different colors. We got a white and a pink, and this is like a purplish tint, and a blue, which is very shiny. And this is my brand new glitter that I'm going to be selling in my store. So I wanted to show you. And I'm going to be using this in the bottom, and then I'm going to be using this for the top. This is Sweet Tooth Fairy. It's a sugar mix. So I thought this is what we'd use for the top, and then we'd put these 3 little ice creams on the top for a decoration. So let's begin. So let's do the little ice creams first. I'm not sure if you saw the mold very well, but there it is. Let me move that just a little bit. There we go. And I'm just going to do these 3 different ones, 1 of each, and then we'll stick them on the box. Well, maybe we'll only need 2, because I need 1 for this heart and 1 for this heart. So maybe, well, I was thinking we put 3, 1, 2, and 3, but maybe we only need 2, because there's only 2 hearts. So maybe we'll only do 2. And I'm going to use the 2 ice cream cones. So I've already cleaned my mold. This is for the other one, so I'm just going to set this aside for a moment. And then I have my little colored UV light resin, if I decide to use those. But I also have my Let's resin. Whoops, I just dropped the container. That we can use. High viscosity. And we can mix these right in and then put them where we want them. So I'm going to put, let's see, I want to put the white for this ice cream. So let's get this started. I'm going to put a little bit in here, because this has the same colors that are in this. Let me put the light back now. So right now I'm just going to lay a base coat, because I can't fill them, because I want to put the cone a different color than the frosting. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the frosting in, and then I'm going to put the coating for the cone so that I can get that started. And then I can proceed putting them in layers. That way it will stay. So there's a little bit of the white. And where I'm using UV resin, there's no hurry of what I'm doing, so I might as well just mix it up, right? And if I have any extra, I will dump it right in a jewelry mold. Or a bookmark mold, or a magnet mold. Whatever I had the most. Aren't these beautiful colors? I may start selling those in my eBay store as well. Now, I just need to get myself a couple of stir sticks. There we go. Should have opened my other bottle. But it's very important that this stays where I want it to stay. That's why I am using this resin, the high viscosity. I'm going to get myself out a cup so I can get it down to the bottom while I just mix this in. Like my new little cups, I just got them in. And this is pretty thick. So I am going to add a little bit of my thinner resin. Just to get this to thin out just a little bit. And that is still the UV resin by Let's Resin, but it's the clear hard type. It's a little bit thinner. Whoops, I just dropped my bottle. It's a little bit thinner than the hard type, the high viscosity. And if you use too much of it, your items will run. It's not so much as to stay in one spot, but so how is everyone today? All right, that looks good as far as what I'm going to do with it. Let's see about this one. This one probably needs some too. Yeah, definitely needs some more. And I'm going to add just a little bit of my clear like I did on the other one. My bottles are getting low, so I need to open some new ones. They will cure together. There's no issue with that. And there we go. Now we will put those in. I'm going to put the white in first. Just a little bit of alcohol. Whoop, wrong one. This one's got something wrong with the nozzle, and I'm knocking everything off my desk. Excuse me a moment while I get my bottle out of my box here. And I need to find my other one. Whoops, on the other table. Excuse me a moment. There we go. Alrighty, now, where did I put the... Oh, I was saying, oh Lord, don't tell me I dropped it. That would not be good. And I'm just gonna spoon a little bit in at a time. And I don't have it liquid enough. So I'm going to have to mix it in the mold. There we go. And then I'm just going to make sure I'm getting all the bubbles out and make sure that I'm getting it flat and level. And now I'm going to add some of this beautiful color. And this I don't need much of. Just enough to fill the candy cane. Or should I say the cone. Sorry, not the candy cane, the cone. Make sure it's down in the point. Alright, now I'm going to let that settle a little bit while we mix up the colors for the next one. And I need to grab myself a baby wipe. And it looks like I need to get out a new package. So I need to just wipe this off. Alrighty, so now we're going to go with, I used them two already. So I think I'm going to go with this pink and this blue. I have one and I need a second one. And I am going to have to get out another bottle, I believe. But we will see if we get enough out of these. And just mix it up again, get it all blended in, you know, the flakes. Now these can be used for UV resin or regular resin. And that also goes for my glitter. See how thick that is? That's telling me I need more. I didn't add enough. So let's see about this one. And this one's the same way. These cups have little grooves in them, and you just want to get everything out of them. You don't want to waste anything. And then I'll go to the thinner one and add some of this. And then I will stir it up and see how it is. That's going to be good. And let's see about this one. Yeah, that one's going to be good. Alrighty. I'm going to add it just with a little bit of alcohol. Now I'm putting the pink for the ice cream, and I'm going to put the purplish blue one for the cone. So I'm just going to get it started. Get it all down in there, make sure my bubbles are out. Make sure it's not on my cone. And then I'm going to put in the cone. Whoops. It's not like it's going to run out, it's pretty thick, but still. And I'm going to put in for the cone. And I'm going to spread it out, get it flat, make sure there's no bubbles down in there. And now I'll cure this level, and then I will add a second level so that I can build it up. Although I really don't want them that thick, you know what I mean? That's pretty thick. That's about 3/4. This one can use a little bit more in order to match the other one, because I don't want them to be off-centered, you know what I mean, off-size. One to be shorter than the other. I'll put just a little bit more in the cone to bring that one up a little. Plus it brings everything up, the level Sorry, I'm not very talkative. I am concentrating. Alrighty. They look good. Now I'm going to move these out of the way because they are UV resin and they will harden on me. And I am going to bring my lighter out first and foremost to get rid of any bubbles. I don't know where my small lighter is. Alrighty. I'm just moving my stuff so I can bring in the UV light. And I will cure these for a full 5 minutes. So I will be back as soon as these are cured. Alrighty, our piece have cured. And I also used the rest and made some, these are going to be earrings. This I will decorate as a pendant. This as well. Whoops. And this as well. So there is some other pieces we have. And I think they need to be cured just a little bit more. They do feel to be a little sticky on the front. So I will put those back under the light while I'm mixing up the resin. But let's get these out. I did cure them from both sides. So let's see. Whoops. That one is cured well. And there's our first one. And this one does have a little bit going up the side. But there's our second one. So here's our 2 ice creams that we will put on the top just to give it some personality. So I will set that mold aside, and I will set these pieces aside for when we're ready for them. I do need to just trim one of them down just a little bit. So I will get out my small scissors and just do this, just to smooth them out so they will lay flat. And where I didn't fill them up all the way, there is a, the sides are real high, so there is quite a opening here. So I may have to fill them up with a little bit of UV resin to make them flat, to support either the glue we use or the resin we use, or whatever we may use to glue them on, to secure them on. Let's see this one. See, this one's not so bad. It doesn't have as much of a lip, as they say. But this one is all trimmed. Let's just trim this a little bit. There we go. Well, there. Now them are done. Let's see how these are doing. A little bit sticky, so I am going to run them a little bit more. Alrighty, so I'm going to just set them aside while I get our resin. There's our glitter, and this one is going to be for the candy. So I am just going to grab a cup and go mix our resin, and I will be right back. Alrighty, I am back, and I have our glitter all set up. Our resin all set up for our glitter, and our little candy mixture for the bottom, and our glitter for the top. So I thought I would do the bottom first, because I don't think that top is going to take much. And then as soon as we're all done, I'm going to put this on the heat mat. And once it's cured, then I will be back and we will do the demold. And we will add our little ice creams to the top. So let's get this going. Are we ready? I'm going to show you just little candies is all this is. I don't know how much I'm going to need, but I'll judge it. We'll see. And then we just add some resin. How much I think we're going to need. It's all edge, because it's an open box. So let's mix it and see, because it's a heavy candy, so I'm expecting it to sink. So I want to make sure I put in plenty of candy. So I want to make sure I mix up plenty. See? Got my mat stuck to my elbow. And I'm wondering if the glue trick would work here. But I'm thinking if I use the glue, I may have a hard time getting it into the mold. And getting it to spread. Although I may not, because this mold's pretty lenient. So I really don't know what direction to go, because I don't want to have it see-through. I want to have a solid box. So I think I'm just going to add more candy. And make more of a thick mixture instead of a thin mixture. So I don't have to add the candy. I mean the glue. But I don't want to make it too thick that it doesn't spread. You know what I mean? It doesn't. Alrighty, so let's begin. I think I may have to get a spoon, but I may not have to. So I am just going to set that there and try to begin dumping it in. Oops, I need to get some alcohol down in there. before I even begin. Come on, Bertha. I have names for everything. Sorry if I offend anybody, but that was my great-grandmother's name. Alrighty, so let's just get it covered with alcohol. I will spray the top again. Alrighty, let's get a dumping. And this is where the messy part comes in. And it is spreading, thank you. Come on, open. That middle piece does not want to be flexible. Oops, I'm spilling it everywhere. Alrighty, now I'm going to take my stick and I'm going to go around the edge and I'm just going to make sure I have no air bubbles down in there and just push anything that I have down in there. Just want to get that out of the way. Because once I know I have no air in here, okay, it's getting a little stiff, so I am going to add a little more resin here. So we can get it down in this area. There we go. This is what I meant by a mess. We get messes, but I love it. I really do. I love creating things. And here's the alcohol coming up, which it will disperse. Sorry, I'm not talking very much. I'm concentrating on trying to get all this down in there. Now I gotta check around it. I got a lot of resin now at the top. I just want to make sure this candy's going to sink down in. Because then I can just add candy to the top. Get this out of there. Hang on to that just in case. Now I gotta make sure my candy is covering the bottom. See how dark that turned, that candy? Whoops, what's that? Something that shouldn't be in there. And if I happen to have any left, I will make a necklace or something. Or a set of earrings. Or a bookmark. Depends on what I have left. Excuse me. And I think I mixed up too much. I made 300 milliliters. And all I have left is the cover. So maybe we will have a mystery mold today, along with this one. Oh, and there goes Lulu. Gotta get some down in there a little more. Make sure I don't have any bubbles under my edge here. Lulu, you're gonna have to wait. I'm busy. Don't see any bubbles. That's a good sign, because we always want to check around our rim. There's a bubble right there, which is telling me there's nothing under there. So let's shove some under there. I don't think I have anything to put under there. Soak it up a little bit in that resin, and then I'm gonna push just so I can get it underneath that edge and get rid of that bubble. Lulu! She's not very happy right now. She is not very happy right now with me. My puppy, my pointer, decided he was going to chew a cord yesterday. And since I'm on the inside in the home office, I have my bubble remover machine out in my hallway. And my puppy decided to chew a cord yesterday, so the hallway is now blocked off. So Lulu can't get to me, and she always lays on my floor behind my chair. Well, she didn't come when I was coming in the office this morning to record my video. So the gate's closed, so she's not too happy with the fact she can't get in here. So she's gonna have to just wait a few minutes before I can get to her, because my hands are real sticky right now. And I'm not handling a doorknob or anything. Not at the moment. But let's get some of this off my hands and get a new one. Okay, so we have that much done. And I hope I got everything around the rim, and I'm not gonna mess with it, but I do want to see how my bottom is. Oh, it looks like it's covered pretty well. But I do want to just sprinkle a little bit more and just mix that in, just so I can have an idea to know that my bottom's covered. Because it looks like there's quite a bit of clear resin sitting here on the top. And I just want to get that mixed in. I mean, I'm sure that this is going to sink and the inside is going to be covered, but I wanted to just make sure that it's, you know, it doesn't have any gaps or holes or anything like that in it. I just want to make sure it's got good coverage. I mean, I got the candy for this, so I might as well use it, right? And I do have to dome it, so pretty much that's what I'm doing. Is I'm doming it just a little bit above, because this is going to be the feet, I believe, yes. When I take it out, this is going to be the footing. Oh, and I think I see a bubble. So I am going to rectify that as soon as I get all this mixed in. Now, looking at a mold, if you're looking around and it's nice and dark, and then you all of a sudden you see a white spot, that's an air bubble. Now I need to move some of this that's around the edge, so I can make sure I don't have any air bubbles under here. And I honestly don't see any, so I think we are good. And that is all mixed in. So now we are on to the cover. And the cover is going to be the red glitter. So I am just wiping my hands up again, because we are going to be using a different cup and different glitter. So I'm going to leave this right here because I'm going to be wiping these bottles off when we are done. Now I need this to be cleaned off to make sure there's no bumps under here from candy when I lay this cover down. So I need it to be flat, like so. And that is going to stay right where it is. Alrighty. Now, I'm hoping that is going to be enough. If not, I will just add some more. And what did I do with my stick? I think I used it. So let's just get another one. And I did put my resin through the bubble remover. Vacuum chamber. There we go, vacuum chamber. Now isn't that a beautiful color? Wow. Get this all mixed in. We're going to spray the cover and then we're going to pour. I'm really hoping that's a very thick thick covering of the glitter, but I think I'm going to need more because I don't know how much that cover is going to take. It's still a thick covering. I did put an awful lot in that cup. And what I don't use, I will put in something. I always do. I always make something out of what any little bit I have left, because you don't want to waste it. This stuff is expensive. Got a little bit of drip here. Alrighty. Now, just for safety's sake, I am going to add a little bit of glue. I figure out what I did with my bottle. Because I honestly don't know if this glue is going to sink or if it's going to float or... So I'm just going to add a little bit. And I will tell you, it's usually 1 drop per ounce, but I usually just put a squirt and call her good. All right, now, here we go. And I think that was enough. Get that off the popsicle stick. And let that settle. So I can see if I need any more. And I'm going over. There we go. Just got to get the air out of there. Go all the way around, get the air bubbles out, help push the resin underneath. There we go. Them air bubbles out of there. This one don't want to come out. Come on, honey. Come on. There we go. Shoot, I didn't spray with alcohol. I knew I was forgetting something, but that's alright. I'm going to spray the top anyway, after I've gone all the way around a couple of times, just to make sure that I'm getting these air bubbles. Because I just see a couple of these popped right back up. And I want to make sure before I put it on the heat mat that it's going to settle and the air bubbles aren't going to come back. So I am going to let this sit for a few minutes before I put it on the heat mat so that it will settle. There goes my babies. They're not alone, so if they need to go out, they'll get put out. Jeff will let him out. My son's at work. Jeff and I are home all day. My car is still waiting to be put in the garage. I haven't found an opening yet for my car to be fixed. Alrighty, I don't see any more bubbles popping up. So I am going to let this settle. Should I see any more bubbles pop up, I definitely will get them, like this one, before I turn on the heat mat. Definitely should have remembered to spray this, or I wouldn't be going through this so much. I know there's people that say spraying your molds with alcohol does deplete their life, but I haven't had a mold go bad because of alcohol, because as soon as I'm done using them, I wash them with soap and water. And I spray them with a alcohol-free mold release. I put them in a bag and I put them in an airtight container. And that's how I store my molds. Now I have found the molds that I do not wash, that I just let sit, do turn yellow. And that is not a good thing, because the resin, it was either the resin or it was the alcohol that caused my mold to turn yellow. I'm not quite sure, and that was because my lazy butt was in a hurry to do something else and I didn't get back to getting them washed, and that was my fault. But I have found you can still use them. They will dull whatever you're making, but you can just put a layer of UV resin over them and it will shine up whatever you're making. So you don't have to throw them away. If you don't want to replace the mold, if it's a mold you don't use that often. But if it's a mold you spent a really lot of money on and you don't want to throw it away, then that's my suggestion, because you're never going to get the yellow out of it. But if it's just a cheap old mold that you only paid a few bucks for, get a new one if you're going to use it a lot. Alrighty. Now I just saw a bubble come up. Now I'm not going to sit here and let you guys watch me keep popping bubbles. Now, like I said, I will sit and watch this for a little bit before I do turn on the heat mat. And bubbles that don't pop, I will pop them. So I am going to watch this for a little while, and I'm going to take that off so I can watch this area too. So I will be back to you when this has cured and it's ready for demold. So I shall see you soon. Righty. Our stuff has dried and is ready to be demolded. And I thought I would do something like this on the cover, just to stay with like the ice cream and the candy theme, where it's Valentine's Day coming up. I'm still on Thanksgiving. So let's demold this and get decorating. I do have a couple of bubbles on the inside here, and I think that's because that's where it dropped with the glue. And I'd have to sand that out, but I'm not too worried about a couple bubbles that are going to be on the inside. So let's move those right out of the way. And let's do the top first. If I can get it started here. Let me find something that's going to help me. I don't want to ruin my mold, but I just got to get it started. There we go. Come on, honey, let's go. Let's just get this rolled started. So I can get under there and get that started. I think I'll use my glue stick first. I use this to press down glue like this. So I don't think this will hurt my mold any. Goodness gracious. Let me try a different spot. See if I can loosen it up, at least to get enough alcohol under there. There we go, we got it started now. There we go. I gotta. Oh, I see a bubble right there. That was the one I was fighting with, and I just could not seem to get that out, but I can get that fixed. I'm not seeing any other ones. Let's get this right off. There we go. Now, always want to refix your mold. You don't want to leave it inside out, and that'll be washed. And I'm seeing a good inside cover. Only thing I'm seeing a bubble is right there. And we can fill that in with a little bit of UV resin. Nice, beautiful top. Look at that glitter. And that glitter I will be putting in my eBay store. If anyone is interested. God, that's pretty. I'm seeing it in resin for the first time as well. Just like you are. Oh, I do see some little bit of bubbles right here. I didn't quite get it all out, but that's okay. Now let's go for the bottom. This is going to be the messy part because I got this full. So this one is going to be somewhat difficult, I think, because I have resin everywhere. Remember, I filled it to the rim to make sure I got all this candy in there, so hopefully it would be full. Let's see if I can get under there. Let's loosen it up again like I had to the other one. Get some of this resin off the sides of the mold so it gets flexible, so I can get it started. See, I have resin everywhere. It's everywhere. It's all down the sides, everywhere. It was a mess. Just gotta break a seal, just one little seal, and then I can get it going. Come on, honey, come on. Ah, there we go. Got her started. I did. And then I'm going to fold her right over and get that right out of there. Oh, I'm not seeing any bubbles. I'm not seeing anywhere yet there's no candy. I'm going to go back to this side. I'm going to roll it right around all over the edges, and then I'm going to pull it out of the middle, like so. And here we have it. And I'm just going to fix my mold, and look at all that resin popping everywhere. It's a good thing I'm cleaning my office today. I'm putting in my new desk, which is supposed to be here today, so I can get off this folding table. Alrighty, look at that. Now remember, that was just a candy mix like you'd use for baking. And it looks very good. It looks solid. I'm not seeing any areas where there's no candy. It looks good. I don't see no bubbles. Looks very good, and the bottom is textured, if you can see that. And I will have better lighting when I moved my desk. I bought a new light. So I am going to be setting this up so you guys will have a much better viewing area. I'll have better lighting. I got a little bit of sanding I'm going to have to do here around this edge on the bottom, and I will do that with my handy dandy little tool here. Now let's get all of this out of the way and get to decorating. Now let's see how this is going to fit. Look at that. Look at that. It fits like a glove. Got a little tip to it, but I will fix that. I will fix this bubble that's right here. I will fill that with resin, UV resin, and I will smooth down this edge a little bit. But let's get to decorating. So I can still do my sanding after. I gotta turn this my way. But I want to have this to make sure this is level. Let me just grab a baby wipe real quick and clean this off. Make sure I don't have anything under here that's going to prevent it from laying flat. There we go. Oh, I got my level right there. And we are level. Alrighty, so that's good. I don't want all the resin, but it doesn't look that way, but it is. It says it's level. So now we are going to go with putting on the little candies. And then I will put a layer of UV resin, which I probably should just put the resin on first and then lay the candies on. And then I'm going to put it under the light and cure it, and then it will be permanent. And I still haven't decided if I want to put anything on the edges of this dish. I might just put it on the top. I'm just putting a layer as close as I can to my edges. And then I'm going to put a layer on the inside. Like so. And then I'm going to spread it all out so that it can level out. And then I'll put the candies on, which I'm sure you are probably tired of seeing me do UV resin. I have done a lot lately. But this gives the people that can't use regular resin options of things to do. Alrighty, now I need to find my little pick. And I'm going to fill in these gaps first, because this is the area where I'm going to be putting the candies on. So I'm going to put the candies on before I start pulling it to the edge, because the candies will bring up the level of the resin, the UV resin. So I just want to make sure my base level is covered before I put on any candy. And I just need to find what I did with my lighter. There it is. I want to make sure there's no bubbles where I'm going to be putting my items. But I don't want to heat it up too much because I don't want to thin it out. But look at all those bubbles coming to the top. Because once I lay down the trinkets, I'm not going to be able to get to these bubbles. And I am using UV resin, the high viscosity. And I'm doing okay. Still see some bubbles, but I gotta let this cool down a little bit. Gotta get rid of these bubbles. Alrighty. Now we can put on our little candies. I can always move them around. To wherever I want them. Because I want that hooked up with the point. I'm going to put that in the middle. Changed my mind. Come on. Them seem to be staying pretty well. So now I can bring the resin to the edges. And then I can cure them. That one's made it there by itself. So I just need to finish it off. That corner's made it there by itself. And if it seems to be pulling away from your edges, just add a little bit more near where you need to put it. Yeah. And how's everybody doing since I've been gone? I know it's only been a blink for you, but it's been hours for me. I've been busy packing up my office, getting ready for my desk to come in. Now I can get rid of this folding table. And there we go. Oops, this pulled away a little. Pull it back right out. And let's make sure it all stayed everywhere. And didn't pull away. And like I said, if your resin seems to be pulling away from an area that you know you've done, just add a slight little bit more to top it off. Don't add a whole bunch because you can't take away what you put on. I mean, you can, but see, this has moved, and when I move it over, it's going to push that UV resin. So it's better off to kick it up, but I don't want to add bubbles to it. So I'm just going to carefully manipulate it. This one has shifted too. And all you got to do is just move your items where you want them. Give them a moment for the resin around it to recirculate itself, because I had pushed a whole bunch up that way. Get your items where you want them. And now you want to go lightly around your items, because you don't want to burn your, but you do want to do your edges. But you want to do it lightly, because at this point you can get your resin to run if you overheat it, because it's too close to the edge now. And then you want to just cure it before your items start moving. And I'm going to let that run on 2 cycles of 5 minutes, because I do have it on there quite thick. Meanwhile, I'm going to babysit it to make sure it doesn't go around off the edges and my items don't move. And my items are glowing. Want to see? Look. Alrighty, now the top has cured. Looks really good. Now I just need to finish a little bit of sanding underneath here and to fill this hole. And that I will do at a later date. Now, the bottom. What are we going to do with this bottom? Are we going to fill in these holes? I kind of like the plain bottom with the surprise of the black. I mean of the lines. Now I'm just wondering if I want to put, and I did while that was curing, I did some sanding on the bottom. So that's nice and smooth now. I'm trying to decide if I want to put some candies around the edge. Let's take one out and just take a peek at what it would look like. If this would be taking away from the cover or not. Because these I would have to E6000 these, because I wouldn't be able to use the UV resin. So that would be a long process, but I can do it. So I will do one to show you what I'm going to do, and then I will do the rest of them, and then I'll come back and show you the finished product. So I will get out my E6000. Actually, I think I will use my 3-in-1. It dries in clear. It's an instant grab and it dries fast. I got this at my local store. So this is what I'm going to use. And I'm going to take my tweezers because I don't want this on my fingers. And I'm going to just grab my item, decide where I'm going to put it, and then I'm going to put just a little bit on the back. Like so. And then I hold on to it tightly, and then I use my little spreader and I spread it around, and then I stick it where I want to put it, because this is an instant grab. And then I just hold on to it for a second or two. Want to make sure I don't put it too high or too low. And then I let it dry. So that's what I will do all the way around for the little candies that I want to put on, and then I'll come back and show you the finished product. So I shall see you soon. Are you guys ready to see the final done? And here it is. Here is our little trinket box. It's not that little, actually. There's our little box, all done. I even fixed the hole that was in the cover right there. And the cover fits on very nicely. These are not quite dry, so I don't want to handle it too much. Now I want to show you what I did with the extras. And I'm going to show you what my new bookmark mold is. Now this is one of my other new glitters. Nice and shiny. And I just put some red lines across, and I put on a nice gold bookmark. Tassel, I mean. Whoops, to make the bookmark. And this is one of my bookmark molds. Isn't that beautiful? And this is all 3 of my new glitters, all in one bookmark. And I put a nice little flower design in there. And I added a gold tassel. And here is my other glitter, my little silver one, which is actually, it's a rainbow effect. It's a rainbow glitter. And I put some gold stripes on this one. And I put a bookmark, a tassel, sorry, I keep saying bookmark, I put a multicolored tassel on it. And there's that one. And this is a heart-shaped. And that's from my new mold as well. Now this one is I am going to use on a keychain because it's small, so I will put this on a keychain. And I just put a little flower with a little yeah, it will come to me in the center. And that's that one. And then this one, I used my new glitter and some of the candy from that box. And this is a heart shape. And I will put this on a keychain as well. And this one I put a butterfly and a little decoration underneath for a little decoration. And this I will put on a keychain. And this, and this are all out of my new mold. So you'll be seeing some of those as well. So this will conclude this video. And now I will finish breaking down this office so I can get ready for my new desk that's coming in today. And I thank you for joining me. I'm excited for my desk to come in, so I'm sorry I'm all a shambles today. But I thank you for joining me. I want everyone to have an amazing day. I hope your crafts are turning out amazing. Please do check out my eBay store that's listed in the description. You all have a blessed day, and I'll see you in the next video.